The note was a blade, its words slicing through the quiet of the kitchen. Your wife will now spend every night with me. And if you dare to interfere with our affair, you'll regret it. It lay on the counter, scrawled in black ink on a torn scrap of paper, the edges jagged like a wound. Daniel's hands trembled as he read it again, the letters blurring through the sting of tears he refused to let fall. The house was still, save for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant drip of a faucet, but inside him a storm raged, shock, rage, and a sickening dread that coiled in his gut like a living thing. He hadn't heard Sarah come home last night. Her car was in the driveway when he woke, but her side of the bed was cold, the sheets undisturbed. She'd texted at midnight, working late. Don't wait up. He hadn't thought much of it then. Her job at the law firm demanded long hours, and he'd grown used to her absences. But now, standing in the dim morning light, the note in his hand felt like a confession she hadn't had the courage to make. Daniel's mind churned, replaying the past few months. The way Sarah's laughter had grown rare, replaced by distracted smiles. The perfume she'd started wearing, sharp and unfamiliar, clinging to her clothes like a stranger's touch. The late nights, the locked phone, the way she'd flinch when he reached for her hand. Each memory was a pinprick, small but cumulative, building a picture he'd refused to see. He wanted to crumple the note, to burn it, to pretend it was a cruel prank. But the weight of it, the truth of it, pinned him in place. He heard the creak of the stairs, and his heart lurched. Sarah appeared in the doorway, her hair mussed, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. She froze when she saw him, her gaze flicking to the note in his hand. For a moment, neither spoke. The air between them crackled, thick with unspoken questions. "Daniel," she said, her voice soft, almost pleading. "What's that?" He held up the note, his hand steady despite the tremor in his chest. "You tell me." Her face paled, but she didn't look away. "Where did you find it?" "On the counter. Right where you left it, I assume." His words were sharp, but they cracked at the edges, betraying the hurt beneath his anger. "I didn't," she stopped, her lips pressing into a thin line. She took a step closer, her bare feet silent on the hardwood floor. "I didn't write that, Daniel. I swear." "Then who did?" His voice rose, raw and jagged. "Because it sure as hell knows about us. About you." Sarah's eyes glistened, but she didn't cry. She crossed her arms, hugging herself as if to ward off the accusation. "I don't know. I got home late, okay? I was at the office, working on the Peterson case. You can check my emails, my calendar." "I don't want to check your damn emails." He slammed the note onto the counter, the sound sharp in the quiet house. "I want to know why someone thinks they can claim you. Why they think they can threaten me." She flinched, and for a moment, he saw something flicker in her eyes, guilt, or fear, or something he couldn't name. It was gone as quickly as it came, replaced by a stubborn defiance. "Maybe it's a mistake. A prank. Someone from work, jealous of my promotion, trying to mess with us. A prank." He laughed, bitter and hollow. "This isn't a joke, Sarah. This is our life." She stepped closer, her hand reaching for his arm, but he pulled away. The rejection stung her, he saw it in the way her shoulders slumped, but he couldn't bring himself to care. Not now. Not with that note burning a hole in his mind. "I'm not cheating on you," she said, her voice low but firm. "I love you, Daniel. I've always loved you." He wanted to believe her. God, he wanted to. But the doubt was a poison, spreading through him, tainting every memory of her touch, her smile. He turned away, staring out the kitchen window at the grey dawn creeping over their backyard. The swing set they'd built for the child they never had stood rusted and still, a relic of a future they'd stopped dreaming about. "Say something," she whispered behind him. "I don't know what to say." His voice was barely audible, heavy with the weight of his confusion. "I don't know what to believe." The day passed in a haze of silence. Sarah left for work, her goodbye kiss lingering on his cheek like a question mark. Daniel stayed home, calling in sick to his accounting job, unable to face the world. He searched for answers in the mundane, her laptop, her purse, the pockets of her coat. Each item felt like a betrayal of trust, but he couldn't stop. He found nothing. No hidden messages. No secret phone numbers. Just the ordinary detritus of their shared life. By evening, the note was still there, a silent accusation on the counter. He poured himself a whiskey, the burn of it grounding him as he sat at the kitchen table. The house felt too big, too empty, the walls echoing with the ghosts of their happier years. He remembered the night they moved in, how Sarah had danced barefoot in this very kitchen, laughing as she spilled wine on the floor. He'd loved her so fiercely then, so completely. Could that love have been a lie? The front door opened, and Sarah's voice called out, tentative. "Daniel." "In here," he said, his tone flat. She appeared, her coat still on, her face drawn. "We need to talk." He gestured to the chair across from him, but she didn't sit. Instead, she paced, her hands twisting together. "I've been thinking about the note all day," she said. I think it might be from Mark." Daniel's stomach dropped. Mark, her co-worker. The charming lawyer with the easy smile who'd joined them for dinner a few months ago. Daniel had liked him, had laughed at his jokes. Now, the memory felt like a betrayal. "Why Mark?" he asked, his voice tight. Sarah hesitated, her eyes darting away. "He's been attentive. Too attentive. I thought it was harmless at first, but lately, he's been pushing boundaries. Texting me after hours. Showing up at my office unannounced." Daniel's grip on the glass tightened. "And you didn't tell me." "I didn't want to worry you." Her voice cracked, desperate. "I thought I could handle it. I told him to stop, but he didn't listen. And now, this note." The room spun, the whiskey sour in his throat. "So you're saying he's obsessed with you? That he wrote this to taunt me?" "I don't know." She ran a hand through her hair, her composure fraying. "But it makes sense, doesn't it? He knows where we live. He could have slipped it through the mail slot." Daniel stood, his chair scraping against the floor. "Then we call the police." "No. No." Sarah's voice was sharp, almost panicked. "We can't. Not yet. It'll ruin everything, my career, our reputation. Let me talk to him first. Let me fix this." Her words hung between them, heavy with implication. Fix what? The note? Mark's obsession? Or something deeper, something she wasn't saying? Daniel's mind raced, piecing together the fragments of their life, the cracks he'd ignored for too long. "Sarah," he said, his voice low, dangerous. "Is there something you're not telling me?" Her eyes met his, and for a moment, he saw the woman he'd married, vulnerable, flawed, human. Then she looked away, and the moment shattered. "I'm telling you the truth," she said, but her voice was too soft, too uncertain. That night, Daniel lay awake, the note's words looping in his mind. Sarah slept beside him, her breathing uneven, as if she too were haunted. He wanted to confront Mark, to demand answers, but a deeper fear stopped him. What if the note wasn't a threat, but a confession? What if Sarah's denials were a lie? The next morning, he found her phone on the nightstand, unlocked. A single text glowed on the screen, from an unsaved number. "Tell him, or I will." Daniel's heart stopped. The room tilted, the air too thick to breathe. He looked at Sarah, still asleep, her face peaceful in a way it hadn't been in months. And in that moment, he knew. The note wasn't a prank, or a threat, or a mistake. It was the truth, laid bare. He set the phone down, his hands shaking, and walked out of the bedroom. The house was silent, but the weight of her betrayal screamed in his chest, a sound he'd carry forever.